Okay, YouTube, so today I'm going to be doing a service on my wife's 2017 CRV. What I'm going to be doing is I'm going to change the oil, the filter, the air filter, as well as rotate the tires. Just going to do a quick little video on how to do that. You may know it, you may not. You can apply it to other vehicles as well. Here you go. Okay, so here's a list of everything you'll need. It takes 3.7 quarts of 0W20 oil. Filter, if you go with a STP, there you go, 7317XL. Air filter, SA12050. Torque wrench for the tires, impact, 19 millimeter. Oil filter wrench if you need it, 17 millimeter for the oil plug, and then screwdriver, flat and Phillips to get the dust or the pan off that covers the engine. So I know a lot of you guys won't have a lift, but either way, with a jack, if you do it with jack stands or ramps is how I used to do it. Gonna make sure if you use jacks, you do put it under the jack plates, and also use jack stands. And ramps is obviously the easiest. Okay, so what you have is you've got to take this, and one of hers fell out. So that one, this one, that one, that one, that one, that one, that one, and that one out. That will remove this plate right here. And why they made some of them flats, some of them Phillips, I don't know, but these right here are little quarter turns. And I saved this one for last, that way it kind of holds it. Drop it down, slide it back. Okay, once you get that removed, you can kind of see where everything's at, and Honda does a good job of labeling stuff. Engine oil is right here, as well as your oil filter is right here. It's actually a good location. Sometimes they'll angle them like perpendicular to the bottom of the car, which is annoying because then your oil runs all over everything. Another little tip I recommend is they sell this stuff. It's almost like Brillo pad, but it's made for like a pan. Whether you're doing it on the ground or you're doing it with a oil catch basin like this. The new vehicles that run this lighter weight, fully synthetic oil, if you've changed the oil on one, you know it comes out like water and it splashes everywhere. This does a really good job of preventing that. Now you want to get this on there and just kind of break it loose. Once you get it loose, that's when I kind of roll my catch basin back under it. Try not to make a mess. Let's see if I can do this with my one hand. Make sure a little washer comes with it. Perfect. Okay, so while that's finishing draining, oil filter's right here. You can go ahead and get that loose. You can use the pliers if you need it. If you don't have them kind of pliers, you can actually just use a big pair of channel locks or whatever it takes. But you can break that loose and let it start draining out as well. Okay, so these are pretty much almost done draining, but I'm gonna go ahead and show you something. So make sure when you remove this oil filter, that O-ring comes with it, because it's every now and then on some vehicles you'll see it'll get stuck on the mating surface up here. And if you try to put another one on and you don't realize it, it'll still tighten. You may or may not feel it, but if you don't feel it, it will not seal. So once you fill it full of oil, crank the car up, you're gonna be pouring oil everywhere. Just be aware of that. Okay, so another thing you can tell is on the new filter, this gasket is very dry. So you can take you just a little bit of oil stripping down. Just go around it. You don't want that gasket to roll on you when you put it back in. Okay, so now, obviously make sure you got your crush washer, be it a new one, whatever. Make sure your magnet, let's see if you can see that. Make sure the magnet's clear. I believe that's a magnet. Well, maybe on this one it's not a magnet. On some of them you'll have a magnet to collect any shavings. So if you do, just make sure that's clean. Shove it back up in there. Snug tight with your fingers. Give it a wipe. And then go ahead and get this snug. And you're not trying to strip it. You do want it snug, but that should be good. I guess I'll just a little bit more one last time. Grab the filter. Yeah, I know it's kind of hard to tell, especially these LED lights kind of makes everything white, but put that on there till it's snug, feels snug. Kind of maybe stuff out of the way. But again, once it's snug, you just kind of give it a couple quarter turn, maybe half turn. You'll feel it kind of get to the point it doesn't want to go anymore. That's about it. Okay, so now the reverse for this pan. Sit it up on there. Kind of have to slide it into place. And you can see, well, right here, get that one lined up first. That way it holds everything. That's it, just do the reverse. Okay, so now I have the vehicle down to a more comfortable working height for the tires. We'll get into this. Highly recommend one of these. I'll put a link to it. It's the DEWALT 20 volt XR brushless. Let me see which one it is. It is the DCF 894. I've had zero issues with it. It breaks loose everything I want it to. Roll that off to the side. Okay, one thing to look for while you're in here is, let me see if I can turn the flash on. Well, kind of get the idea. You can see your brake life left. Still got plenty of life. And I will say, we bought this new. I think she's got 82,000 miles on it. And those are original brakes. And it still stops just as good as when we bought it. So kudos to Honda on that. Okay, so now I've got the tires removed. All we'll do is we'll take the fronts both fronts straight to the back, and then take the backs and crisscross them. So passenger back will go to driver's front, and driver's back will go to passenger front. And I've got a little picture I found on the internet to put with it. Get where you kind of feel the mating surfaces line up, and give it a bump or two. Make sure it's all even. That's kind of all you do. In my case, I'll turn this on low. Just give it like a click. And then I'll set the vehicle on the ground to put some pressure on these tires, otherwise they'll try to spin. And I'll grab the torque wrench and torque them down. Okay, so now I have it back on the ground slightly. You can see the wheel's not gonna roll. Per Honda, torque spec is 80 foot-pounds. Obviously, want to go into a star pattern. So we'll start, let's say, for instance, at the bottom. Click. Diagonal across at the top. Back to diagonal at the bottom. Across. And then the last one's right here. And I always do a check pass. So start back where you started. Real quickly. Steady. Okay. Do that 3 more times. If you're familiar with the engine. Right here, oil fill cap. Again, it says 0W20. Okay, so again, it's 3.7 quarts, so the first 3 you can just kind of pour in straight, no big deal. Quart 2, pour it in. Say, hey YouTube.
Hey YouTube. Me? You want me to say hey YouTube?
I do.
What?
You did. You'll be famous now because I'm doing something.
And Mommy painted my nails.
She did.
Look.
Hang on.
Perfect for my dress. Match the dress. Perfect for the wedding. It is
Quart 3. All right, so 1 quart is about 946 milliliters, and it calls for 3.7 quarts. So roughly 70% of this. So if you take all that out, you should be left with about 284 milliliters. So you can kind of guesstimate where that'll be. And also you can check your dipstick, but that just gives you a kind of a stop in place. So as you can see, we're still at about 500. And so that middle tick is about 300. So I'd say that's about good, and I'll check it on the dipstick. Orange handle right here, got a little hole in it. That is your dipstick. So pull it out, clean it off. So if you can tell, it's got like 3 little circles on it. And obviously the bottom circle is gonna be your min level, top max, and center will be ideal. So reinsert it, pull it out, and get it to that level. Okay, so air filter sits under here. We've got this, that one, And that one. Take out. And they don't come all the way out. They've got a little sleeve on them, so just loosen them until you feel it kind of the threads jumping. Okay, now lift it up, give it a wiggle. There's your air filter. Already go with one hand, but yeah. And you can see, I changed every oil change, so pretty clogged up. Anyways, new filter again, SA12050. I believe the tab goes towards the back. That is not correct. Tab goes to the front. Let's see. This, that. Sits in there. You can see that. And kind of wiggle it so everything lines kind of back up. Oh, see it moves a little bit. So actually, I was wrong.
Please,
Hold on, baby. So tab goes to the front. There, that's better. Okay. Tab at the front. I'll get it on there. And you see it's kind of in place now. Do the reverse.
You're such a good listener. Nothing. Nothing. Yes, I love you. And that's it.
Okay, and last thing, don't forget to put your oil cap back on. I didn't earlier because I let the funnel kind of sit there and drip dry into the engine. Okay, so last thing you need to do is to reset all the maintenance minder indicators. You go to settings, vehicle. Let me hit the button again. There we go. Down, maintenance info. It says engine oil, tire rotation, air filters, brake fluid. I checked brake fluid, it's fine. That kind of correlates to A1, 2, and 7. So there you go, A1, 2, and 7. Select reset items. I'll do all do items. Reset. Okay. And if you come over here now to info, let's see here. The wrench, oil life 100. Okay, YouTube, so that was it. I appreciate you watching. If you learned anything, that's great. If you didn't, I still appreciate you watching. Till my next video, if you have any comments, questions, leave them below. I'll link, again, that Impact. And another thing I used that was pretty helpful was this light. Let's see, right here. Picked it up at Harbor Freight last weekend, first time I got to use it. Actually pretty good for what it is and what it costs. It's got 2 settings and it's rechargeable. That says about 7 hours on battery life. All right, so till next time.